Okay, we're live. We're just gonna wait for a few friends to sign in, right? Okay. Say hi.
Hi.
This is Lily. It's my daughter. And then Mrs. Santiago. We're lucky today. Lily's daddy is hanging with Jacob for a few minutes while we read to everybody. I see Mr. Sontag. He's here. No, it takes our friends a little bit. Hola. Oh, Nick must be here with his mom, Beth. Oh, I see Reed and his mom are here. Say hi.
Hi.
We're going to give everyone a few minutes to log in. Oh, I don't think your friend Hadley is watching. Not just yet. We can tell as they pop on. Oh, Wesley must be watching. He's here. Hi, Wes. So we're going to start reading in just a minute or two. I know it takes our friends sometimes a little bit of time to get on here. I know you're probably busy with all your schoolwork. Maybe you're making your bed, feeding the cats, taking care of whoever and whatever. Cassie's here. Hello. Hi, Jonathan. Okay, I think we're going to get started. Oh, Josiah's on too. You met Josiah. You met him the other day, a few weeks ago at Christopher's Boy Scout ceremony. Okay. Hi, Cole. He's here too. Oh, and I see the Holthausers are here. And Titi's on with Estelle and Ava. All right, we're going to get started, everybody.
Ava.
I'm going to flip the screen. Hi, George. All right, so you'll be able to see the book. Okay, and we have 3 different books we're reading today. I tried to pick 3 different kind of levels. Some for the younger kids, Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes, a funny Ninja Red Riding Hood. That's fun for all ages. That's a really fun fractured fairy tale. And then one of our favorites, Chrysanthemum by Kevin Henkes. All right. Hi, Miss Putz.
Her name is a flower one, just like mine.
You are right. Okay, so let's get started. Everyone smell the rose. Blow out the candles. All right, here we go. Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. And if you're familiar with this one, you can go ahead and join us. I'm going to move Lily's caterpillars, which are, by the way, doing really awesome. They're getting really big. Let's show everybody. See how cool?
See, they're giant.
And they're shedding their...
I'm going to show her the world's biggest one.
Yep, and they're shedding their exoskeletons, too. Hi, Evan. Hi, Harula and Zakari. Oh, Colin, hi, I miss you too. And Will's here too. We also have her science experiment. The flowers are changing colors with our dyed water. If you watched Miss Grace this morning in art, she was doing this awesome experiment, mixing her primary colors to make her secondary colors. So do you remember what the primary colors are? What are the
Red, blue, and yellow. That's
right, and they make, red and blue make... Oh, red and blue make purple, right? Where was that? Whoop. There's purple.
It's a little
Yeah, and blue and yellow make
green.
Yeah, and red and yellow make orange. So we thought we would do a little book for some of our friends with colors. The primary colors are featured in this book along with brown. So here we go. Hi, Poppy. Hi, everybody. All right, Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. Created and illustrated by James Dean. Story by Eric Litwin. All right. Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much, he sang this song. You going to sing with me? I love my white shoes, I love my white shoes, I love my white shoes. Meow, meow, meow. Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of strawberries. Oop. What color did it turn his shoes? What color?
Red.
Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no.
He kept walking along and singing his song. Everything is cool. This is a really good book for right now. Just keep walking along and singing our song. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. Say, oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of blueberries. That's right. Lily's saying if her baby brother Jacob were here, that would be his part. He would say, "Oh no." Oh, I see. The Dixons are here. Hi, everybody. Oh, what color did the blueberries turn his shoes? Blue. Did Pete cry? Goodness no.
He kept on walking along and singing his song.
Awesome. I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. Say it. Oh no. Pete stepped in a large puddle of
mud.
What color did it turn his shoes?
Brown.
Did Pete cry?
Goodness no.
He kept walking along and singing his song. Groovy. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. Oh no! Pete stepped in a large bucket of water. Do you want to do that part? No? And all the brown and all the blue and all the red were washed away. What color were his shoes again? White! But now they were wet. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. He kept walking along and singing his song. Rock and roll. I love my wet shoes. I love my wet shoes. I love my wet shoes. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Shh, Lil. Hi, Morgan. Stop, please, Lily. The moral of Pete's story is, no matter what you step in, keep walking along and singing your song. Isn't that the truth, right, everybody? Because it's all good. Ah, thanks, Sakari. Ooh, thank you, Miss Annette and Casey. Hi, Cole. Hi, Poppy. Hi, Jessica Wagaman. Wow. This book is so awesome. Whether you're young or old, it's a good reminder to just keep walking along and singing your song. You know, we may not be able to head to our lovely, amazing school, but we can still keep walking along and singing our song and look on the bright side. So let's read another fun one. This one is called, what's that one called? Ninja Red Riding Hood. And it's a fractured fairy tale. I love fractured fairy tales. They're really funny. So that just basically means it's a version of a fairy tale that we all know, which is which one? Little pigs. No, Little Red.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Right, but instead she's a ninja. All right, here we go. This is by Corey Rosen Schwartz. She is the author, and the illustrator is Dan Santat. Do you guys remember what an author does? That's right, an author writes the book. That's right, writes the book, comes up with the story. And an illustrator, can you guys remember what that is? That's right, an illustrator
draws the picture.
That's right, and this part of the book is called the, say it, the spine. And do you remember what the spine does?
Holds the pages together.
It does hold the pages together, so we want to be extra careful with our books. Here we go. Here's Ninja Red. Ninja Red Riding Hood. Do you want to be Ninja Red's voice, Lily? Okay, you have to have attitude, though. Once upon a Ninja Red time, a wolf couldn't catch any prey. He kept getting licked by the dinner he picked and was growing more ticked by the day. His belly was aching for bacon. I'm wasting away, he complained. To huff and to puff was no longer enough, so he snuck into school to be trained. You see him there? He practiced his katas for hours and mastered his whirlwind and wheel. He jackknifed and flipped and at last felt equipped to once again catch a good meal. Drooling with anticipation, he set off in search of some meat. While deep in the wood, he met Riding Hood. That's your part. I'm
bringing my grandma a treat.
The wolf licked his chops when he saw her and hastily thought up a plan. There are blossoms that way. You can pick a bouquet to give to your little old gran. Then the wolf took a shortcut to Grandma's, where he thought that he'd find her in bed. But Granny was gone, so he put her robe on and eagerly waited for Red. Uh-oh. Soon after, he heard someone knocking. He called out, "My dear, come on in. Oh, don't you look good in your lovely red hood, but a shame that you've gotten so thin." Little Red took a look at her granny and said, right here, What? What on
earth did you do?
Louder. I could
swear that your eyes have completely changed size. Hey, Gran, are you sure that's you?
Of course it is me, my sweet darling. The better to see you, my dear. That's your part. And your
ears are so long. Something really seems wrong.
Oh, my girl, all the better to hear. And those biceps.
My gosh, they look
massive. And your triceps and delts are immense. The better for hugging, her grandma said, shrugging. Dear Red, that's just plain common sense. And right there, and those teeth.
They look so much sharper.
Why, yes, all the better to chew. He jumped out of bed to gobble up Red, but she'd gone to ninja school too. Can you say hiya? She grappled and sideswiped and twisted and escaped from his clutches unscratched. She attempted a lock, but he managed to block. They appeared to be evenly matched. Just then, they both heard someone chopping. A woodsman, Red thought, but instead, it was Gran and her geese. She just come from Tai Chi. Don't you dare harm a hair on her head. Uh-oh. The wolf took a swing at that instant, but Red deftly dodged the attack. She got a good grip, threw him over her hip, and the wolf wound up flat on his back. I'll skedaddle, the wolf said in anguish as he struggled back up on his feet. That's your part. Just a second. Right here.
Just a second.
You beast?
Beast, you will not be released till you promise to give up red meat.
Though his tummy still rumbled with hunger, the wolf faced his rival and vowed, Ninja Red, you have won. My meat days are done. Oh, Red-chan, said Gran, I'm so proud. Then Red and the wolf bowed politely, and Gran gave him half her peach pie. The wolf was a mess. He had way too much stress. This is my favorite part. I guess I'll give yoga a try. He enrolled at the Downward Dog Center, where his tension began to decrease. He studied with yogis, said no to meat hoagies, and felt at last truly at peace. And there he is eating his apple. The end. Did you guys like that one? That was a fun one. All right, we have one more, right, Lily? Okay, so this one is called Chrysanthemum. Everyone smell the rose, blow out the candle, and it's by, again, another one of my favorite authors, Kevin Henkes. We read Lily's Purple Plastic Purse last week. That was also by Kevin Henkes, and he authored and illustrated this book. All right, here we go. Last story of the day. Hope everyone's remembering to get their 20 minutes a day of reading in. Okay. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be absolutely perfect, said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew. And when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name.
I love my name.
Thank you for that voiceover, Lily. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written in icing on her birthday cake. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it with her fat orange crayon.
Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way to school. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum. School. Oh, that was your part. I'm sorry.
Hooray, school.
But when Mrs. Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. Look, here's Mrs. Chud, and that's Dawn, Eve, Lois, Al, Les, Kay, Max, Sue, Bill, Pat, Tom, oops, Sam has his S backwards, Ken, Joe, Rita has her R backwards. Oh, look, she's pointing. She's making fun. Victoria is also making fun, and here's poor Chrysanthemum. It's so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on your name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. You're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Mrs. Chud that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. That's exactly half as many letters as there are in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Mrs. Chud. Now, put your head down. If I had a name like yours, I'd change it, Victoria said, as the students lined up to go home. You want to say that part? Louder.
I wish I could.
I wish I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Be a little louder, which part? Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School's no... Can we do that part?
School's no place for me,
said Chrysanthemum.
My name is too long.
It scarcely
fits on my name tag. And I'm named after a flower.
Oh, pish, said her mother. Your name is beautiful and precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome, said her father. It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup. Ew. And an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. And Dad's reading a book, The Inner Mouse, Volume 1, Childhood Anxiety. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream.
No, that's not a good name.
The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, "A chrysanthemum's a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things." "Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria," said Mrs. Chud. "Now, put your head down." "I just cannot believe your name," Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. "Neither can I," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School's no place for me." "That's your part, I'm sorry," Chrysanthemum said. They said
I even look like a flower.
They pretended
to pick me and smell me.
"Oh, pish," said her mother. "They're just jealous and envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced," said her father. "Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours?" said her mother. "After all, it's absolutely perfect," said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. Dad's book says, "A rose by any other name, understanding identity." Her dad reminds me of your dad. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at each and every flower. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum," the flowers seemed to say. That morning, the students were introduced to Miss Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, as was everything else about her. The students were speechless. They thought Miss Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Mrs. Twinkle led the students in scales. Then she assigned roles for the class musicale. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess. Jo was chosen as an all-important pixie messenger. And Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. "Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy." Jo, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. "What's so humorous?" asked Miss Twinkle. "Chrysanthemum," was the answer. "Her name is so long," said Jo. "It scarcely fits on her name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "She's named after a flower." "My name is Long," said Miss Twinkle. "It is?" said Jo. "My name would scarcely fit on a name tag," said Mrs. Twinkle. "It would," said Rita, pointing. "And," said Mrs. Twinkle, "I'm named after a flower, too." "You are?" said Victoria. "Yes," said Mrs. Twinkle. "My name is Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely perfect." Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed. She beamed. She bloomed. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum!" Jo, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. "Call me Marigold," said Jo. "I'm Carnation," said Rita, pointing. "My name is Lily of the Valley," said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it. The epilogue. Overall, the class musicale was a huge success. Chrysanthemum was absolutely perfect as a daisy. Victoria made the only mistake. She completely forgot her lines as the dainty fairy queen. Chrysanthemum thought it was wildly funny, and she giggled throughout the entire dance of the flowers. Eventually, Mrs. Twinkle gave birth to a healthy baby girl, and of course, she named her what?
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum. That's right. All right, we hope you enjoyed story time today. Lily did an awesome job. I agree, Zakari. I don't know. She wants to know if her friend Hadley was watching. I'm not sure, but she can always watch it later. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I love you and miss you, and I'm so glad that I get to have this time with you, and I get to sometimes share my kids with you. Be on the lookout for some really fun science videos. We're working on some other videos. Lily's gonna help show how she makes her bed as a little, just step by step, because that's really important too, right? Since we have all this time at home. Make sure you're watching at 10 a.m. for art class tomorrow with Miss Whitney or Miss McCowan, and the next day with Miss Grace, and at 11 o'clock each day with Mr. Sontag. All right, everybody, take care and be well. Love you. Take care. And yes, 3 o'clock every day with us. Bye. Thank you. Everyone's saying good job, Lily. Want to say thank you?
Thank you.
Say bye. Want to blow them a kiss?
Bye. Mwah.
Mwah.